right side up again. You can see the steering shaft just poking out of the vehicle. We have the dashboard that we just assembled, and you are also going to need 4 of those regular size screws. If you look at the dashboard, on the inside you'll see there's a wire that sticks out. This is actually your microphone wire. You'll see there's 3 holes in the dashboard, one in the far left and right, and one that's off center. You want to go ahead and put that connection all the way through that hole, because this will connect to the siren to give everything power for the microphone. And here you want to fit the hole on the dashboard over the steering shaft. Take a look at the front. You'll see there's some snap fits that go in there. You want to make sure everything is snapped into place. There's only 4 screws, 2 on each side, 1 in the front right here, and then 1 on the opposite end, which we'll show you right now. There's 1, and here's 2. And then from there, just go ahead and copy it on the other side. And we're now finished with the dashboard, and you'll be able to install the steering wheel. Now that the dashboard is installed correctly, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and mount the steering wheel. But the first thing you have to do is put on the steering wheel bushing, and you'll see that you have a regular size screw here, and that's the one you want to use. Now, we've done it already to save time, but to show you here, you'll see there's 3 holes on the steering shaft. There's a hole on the steering wheel bushing. You want to align it with the second hole, and then you want to use this screw here. It will go into place and it will tighten down. This is actually what helps you mount the steering wheel to the steering shaft. So we're going to get this out of the way. We've already have it done here. So now just go ahead and slide the steering wheel over. It's going to fit perfectly. On the left side of the steering wheel, the lock nut's going to go through. The right side, oh, I'm sorry, the left side the screw will go through. And it might be a little bit tough just to find it. And then from there, go ahead and put on the lock nut. And if you kind of just hold it in place with your finger, on the right side there's a cutout for that lock nut. So you just screw it in, it's going to tighten itself in place. And from there, you have the steering wheel installed. And now we're going to move on to the back assembly for the body parts. And also going to assemble the back portion. This involves the seat, the side windows, and the back portion that holds the water tank, pump, and hose. We already put one of the windows on to save time. This assembly is the exact same. So go ahead. We're going to put in one of the windows, and if you see on the sides there's some tabs. You want to make sure they fit in the body. And there are 3 sections where you're going to put in screws. And you just want to play around with it until you get it. So there's 1 screw here in the front. There's going to be 1 screw on the inside by the seat, and 1 screw at the very back. There's 1. And then we're going to skip this middle one for now. It's a little bit hard to reach in there with the power drill, but you want to get a regular hand screwdriver and you'll be able to get it from there. And now you want to go ahead and grab the yellow backrest. And this is where that empty space is going to get filled. First thing, once you do that, is you're going to grab the white water tank, install it in its slot. There is a washer that screws onto the top of that. That's going to fit in place, and then there's 2 screws that hold that down. We can take care of that. Actually, we'll just do that right now. And then 1 more over here. Now there's one empty slot over here on the right, which is yellow, and one small one that is white. This is for the water hose. So you want to go ahead and grab that. And then from there, the actual hose portion goes into the white piece. Screw that red lock down. And then the hose right there is just a holder. And the last thing you'll need is the water pump. And it goes into the only other place that's available here. After you've installed all of this, you can now put on the back seat. And you'll see it kind of just fits in here. You want to move the seat belts out of the way. And then if you take a look, it fits in these slots right here. So 1 and 2. And there's 2 sections to screw down the regular screws here. You want to do that. And then from this point, you're almost done. Now we're just going to go ahead and move along to the front hood, all the actual hood itself. But first, before you can install it to the vehicle, you have to put it together. So you want to go ahead and grab the red siren, this long bar here, the small one that just rolled over. There's 2 of them, but one's already installed here. This piece, this is the hood latch, and then just an assortment of these screws. They're a little bit different. They're a lot fatter at the end. And then from here, if you take a look at the 2 white pieces of the hood, one of them actually has the holes and one has the pins. So you want to fit them directly over each other so they overlap. And once they do that, we're going to go ahead and install these. So this one's already done. If you take a look over here, there are 2 pins that stick out. There are 2 holes inside that small piece, and you want to go ahead and fasten it with those 2 screws. Alright, next piece, this black bar. Take a look. 1, 2, and 3. That's where it's going to fit. This is what actually ensures that it stays together. Go ahead and grab 3 of those screws, the same size. Okay, and the last piece is the hood latch. Now, you want to make sure that the little piece with the black end faces the inside of the vehicle, just like that. And where there's already the screws here that we put in to save time, there's 2 holes. I'm going to go ahead and fasten it. And now you want to turn this entire piece over to the hood. And if you take a look at the center, there is a hole. And if you take a look at your red siren, there's a wire. So you want to make sure you insert the wire in there, and you'll see that there are some tabs that help it lock into place. Turn it over, and there are 6 screws that you want to install here. So once you've already finished, you want to lock it down with those 6, and then we'll go ahead and assemble. The last thing you need to do is just mount it to the vehicle, and you finish the assembly. First things first, you want to go ahead and put the wire that's sticking out of the hood and the wire out of the dashboard. Go ahead and connect those, and that's what's going to power your siren and microphone. At the top of the hood, there's 2 pins. You slide into the 2 holes here, and then there are 2 more pins, as you can see right here. And once you line those up, it's going to lock into place. Sorry, we almost dropped it right here. And then from there, you finish the assembly. You just got to put on the decals, and you're set.